In a time beyond the reach of history's pen, in an age where myth and reality danced together, there existed an island of unparalleled splendor, the mythical Atlantis. This wondrous isle, hidden in the folds of the great Mediterranean, was a geographic marvel that captured the awe of both man and God. Atlantis, shrouded in the mist of legend, was said to be nestled somewhere between the Pillars of Hercules and the cradle of ancient civilizations. It was an island larger than many, comparable in its majesty and grandeur to the renowned Crete. Its coast, kissed by the sparkling waters, stretched far and wide, creating an awe-inspiring silhouette against the horizon. The island itself was a tapestry of diverse landscapes, each more breathtaking than the last. At its heart lay a mountain, tall and proud, touching the sky with its snow-capped peak. From this majestic mountain, streams of crystal-clear water cascaded down, feeding lush valleys that sprawled below. These valleys, blessed with fertile soil and a gentle climate, were home to verdant forests, fields of golden grain, and orchards heavy with fruit. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms and the soft humming of bees. As one journeyed closer to the shore, the landscape transformed. Here, the beaches were of the softest sands, golden and warm, where the gentle waves of the sea whispered secrets of the deep. Cliffs, rugged and majestic, stood as sentinels overlooking the vast expanse of blue, their faces telling tales of ancient storms weathered and times long past. The surrounding seas of Atlantis were a spectacle in themselves. Clear and vibrant, they teemed with life. Schools of fish shimmered beneath the waves, while dolphins danced in joyous arcs. The waters were not just a source of sustenance for the Atlanteans, but also a canvas for the reflection of the island's magnificence. At night, Atlantis transformed under the moonlight. The sea glowed with the light of 1,000 stars, mirroring the heavens above, creating an ethereal bridge between the island and the cosmos. The geography of Atlantis was not just a physical entity, but a living, breathing being. It was said that the island itself was alive, its heart beating in rhythm with the tides, its soul whispering through the rustling leaves and the rolling waves. Thus, Atlantis, in its geographical majesty, stood as a testament to the wonders of the ancient world, a place where the boundaries between reality and myth blurred, creating a realm of endless possibilities and timeless beauty. In the heart of Atlantis, life was an intricate tapestry of luxury, ease, and wonder, woven with the threads of advanced technology and boundless creativity. The Atlanteans didn't just live. They thrived in an ambience of effortless splendor, a testament to their unparalleled advancements and profound understanding of the universe. The very essence of Atlantean life was the seamless integration of technology and daily existence. Homes and public spaces were equipped with systems and machines that catered to every conceivable need. From the preparation of meals to the maintenance of their lush gardens, all was managed by sophisticated automation, allowing the Atlanteans to devote their time to higher pursuits of art, science, and spirituality. The architecture of their homes was a blend of beauty and functionality, with walls that could change color to reflect the mood or occasion, and windows that adapted to the light to always provide a perfect ambience. Furniture was not just inanimate. It was responsive, molding itself to provide the utmost comfort to its occupants. In Atlantis, fashion was an art form, a mode of expression that went beyond mere appearance. The Atlanteans adorned themselves in garments woven from fabrics that were both exquisite and intelligent. Fabrics that could adapt to temperature, environment, and even the emotional state of the wearer. Jewelry was not just for decoration. It served as personal enhancements, imbued with technology that could augment one's energy or mood. With their basic needs effortlessly met, the Atlanteans pursued leisure and creativity with fervor. Their cities were bustling hubs of art, music, and culture, with galleries, theaters, and concert halls at every turn. The streets were alive with performances, and the air resonated with melodies created by instruments that could harness the elements, playing symphonies composed of wind, water, and light. Culinary arts in Atlantis were a marvel. With the abundance provided by their advanced agriculture and aquaculture systems, Atlanteans enjoyed a variety of foods that were not only nourishing, but also works of art. Chefs in Atlantis were revered artisans, crafting dishes that delighted the senses in ways unimaginable. Meals were often communal, a celebration of togetherness and the bounty of their land. Recreation in Atlantis was as diverse as it was sophisticated. They had sports and games that combined physical prowess with mental acuity, often played in stunning arenas where the environment could change to add to the challenge. Virtual reality experiences were common, allowing Atlanteans to explore distant worlds or historical events in fully immersive environments. Despite their technological prowess, the Atlanteans lived in harmony with nature. Their cities were designed to blend with the landscape, with buildings that rose amidst the foliage and waterways that flowed through urban spaces like natural rivers. Wildlife roamed freely, and the Atlanteans took great care to maintain the balance of their ecosystem. In Atlantis, life was not just lived, it was celebrated. Every day was an exploration of the potential of human creativity and ingenuity. A journey through a world where the fantastical was commonplace. The Atlantean way of life, a dance of technology, art, and spirit. remains a beacon of what a civilization can aspire to be. A true utopia, where the splendors of life are not just dreams, but vivid realities. The minds of the Atlanteans were their greatest asset. It was said they used up to 90% of their brain capacity, granting them abilities far beyond what we can imagine. They communicated with animals as easily as they spoke with each other, a bond that transcended species. In their pursuit of innovation, the Atlanteans didn't stop at creating robots and automated systems. They delved into the realms of genetic engineering, creating mythical beings like the Chimera, creatures that were half human, half animal, including the mesmerizing mermaids. These beings were not just figments of myth, but living, breathing entities that coexisted with the Atlanteans. In Atlantis, traditional education was unnecessary. Knowledge was absorbed through special devices that could impart years of learning in mere moments. Children as young as 15 or 16 possessed wisdom surpassing the highest scholars of our time. This method of learning allowed them to achieve intellectual feats that we can barely fathom. Atlantean architecture was a wonder to behold. The city was designed in concentric circles, each ring signifying a higher level of sanctity and authority. The innermost circles housed the most important temples and reserved areas, accessible only to the elite. The buildings were not just structures, but symphonies of stone and metal. The golden domes of their buildings, when caressed by the wind and touched by different temperatures, would emit harmonious sounds, often in triads, reflecting the Atlanteans' reverence for the number 3. This number manifested in their architecture, with patterns repeating in 3s and trios of pyramids dominating the skyline. The Atlanteans' most awe-inspiring achievements were in their energy systems. They harnessed magnetic fields to power vehicles that could glide through the air like modern-day flying saucers. At the heart of their energy system was the magnetorite, a hexagonal, cylindrical, glass-like substance that absorbed sunlight and converted it into energy. This mysterious material, housed in the central power station of Posidia, the capital, generated a cosmic energy unknown to the 20th century mankind. In the era of Atlantis, the boundaries between the physical and metaphysical were not just blurred. They were interwoven into the very fabric of existence. The Atlanteans didn't just inhabit a place. They lived in a state of heightened consciousness, a realm where the spiritual and mental advancements were not just extraordinary, but the cornerstone of their civilization. In Atlantis, spiritual growth was as essential as breathing. From a tender age, Atlanteans were nurtured not just in body, but in spirit. Their education system was a marvel, where classrooms were realms of meditation and exploration of the inner self. Children learned to tap into the depths of their consciousness, accessing insights and knowledge that transcended traditional learning. The concept of school in Atlantis was not confined to structures or physical spaces. Instead, it was an ever-present process of growth and enlightenment. Gardens of reflection, halls of crystal resonance, and pools of deep meditation dotted the landscape, each a sanctuary for spiritual awakening. The mental capabilities of the Atlanteans were beyond what we can conceive. They had harnessed the ability to communicate telepathically, not just among themselves, but with all forms of life. Conversations with animals and plants were common, with each species sharing its unique wisdom and perspective on the natural world. This advanced form of communication extended to their technology. Atlanteans used their minds to interact with and control devices. Machinery and gadgets responded to mental commands, functioning seamlessly with human thought. This symbiotic relationship between thought and technology represented the pinnacle of their scientific and spiritual evolution. The Atlanteans' understanding of healing transcended physical remedies. They believed in the holistic healing of body, mind, and spirit. Healers in Atlantis were not just physicians, but spiritual guides, capable of diagnosing and treating ailments through energy manipulation and crystal therapy. These healers used a combination of sound, color, and aroma, along with the power of crystals, to create harmonious vibrations that could restore health and balance. The Atlanteans understood that every being resonated with a unique frequency, and aligning these frequencies was key to maintaining wellness. Crystals were central to Atlantean life. Beyond their use in healing, they served as repositories of knowledge and energy. The Great Crystal of Atlantis was not just a source of power, but a sacred object of reverence. It was believed to be a living entity, pulsating with the collective consciousness of the Atlantean people. This crystal, large and luminescent, sat at the heart of the capital city, its light a beacon of wisdom and power. It was said to store the experiences, memories, and knowledge of the Atlantean civilization, a testament to their advanced understanding of energy and consciousness. Atlantis was guided not just by rulers and kings, but by spiritual elders, beings who had reached the apex of spiritual and mental development. These elders were revered, their insights shaping the policies and direction of Atlantean society. They were the custodians of moral and ethical codes, ensuring that the advanced technologies and powers were used for the benefit of all. In Atlantis, the path of spiritual and mental advancement was the path of true power. It was a civilization where enlightenment was the greatest achievement, and harmony with the universe was the ultimate goal. This legacy of Atlantis, of a society that valued the growth of the soul as much as the mind, continues to captivate us. A distant echo of a world where the spiritual and the material were one. The days leading up to the disaster were like any other in Atlantis. The sun kissed the island's lush landscapes, and the gentle sea breeze carried the laughter and chatter of a contented people. The Atlanteans, oblivious to the impending doom, went about their daily lives. Artists painted, scholars debated, and children played. In the evenings, the sky would turn into a canvas of fiery oranges and purples as the sun dipped below the horizon. The people of Atlantis would gather to celebrate their daily achievements, their faces glowing with the joy of a civilization at its peak. Little did they know that these moments were to be their last of peace and tranquility. The cataclysm struck without warning. The earth began to tremble, a low rumble at first, growing into a monstrous roar that shook the very foundations of Atlantis. Buildings that had stood for centuries crumbled like sandcastles, and the once proud towers toppled. Panic ensued as the ground split, opening chasms that swallowed streets and homes. Then came the water. Massive waves, taller than the highest buildings, crashed onto the shores with a fury that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The sea, once a source of life and prosperity for Atlantis, became its destroyer. The waves engulfed the island, swallowing everything in their path. The sky turned dark, obscured by clouds of dust and debris. Lightning tore through the heavens, and thunder roared as if the gods themselves were voicing their wrath. It was as if nature, in all its might, had unleashed its full force upon the island. When the chaos subsided, Atlantis was no more. Where once stood a vibrant island was now but a memory submerged beneath the waves. The sea, now calm, gave no hint of the destruction it had wrought. The once glorious Atlantis lay submerged, its splendor and secrets hidden beneath the relentless waves. Above, the seas calmed, as if nature had expended its fury, leaving behind a haunting silence. The survivors, a mere handful compared to the populous civilization that once thrived, found themselves adrift on the open ocean, clinging to remnants of what once was. These survivors, fortunate to have been aboard ships when the disaster struck, witnessed the unthinkable destruction from afar. As their beloved island succumbed to the sea, hearts heavy with grief and shock, they navigated away from the turmoil, guided by stars and fate. Their journey was arduous, filled with uncertainty and despair. Yet, the resilience and knowledge of the Atlanteans guided them to new lands. Some found refuge in what is now known as the Greek islands, including Crete. Their arrival influenced the burgeoning Minoan civilization, evident in the sudden leap in architectural and navigational skills. Others sailed further, reaching the coasts of what would become Egypt and the Mediterranean basin. They brought with them advanced agricultural techniques, contributing to the flourishing of these ancient societies. A few ventured towards the Iberian Peninsula, where they integrated with the local tribes, leaving traces of their advanced metallurgical skills and artistic styles. In the year 2011, a tale as old as time found a whisper of truth in the marshes of Donana National Park in southern Spain. As the sun cast its golden hues over the sprawling wetlands of Donana, the team unearthed strange ruins hidden beneath the earth and water. These were not just mere remnants of a forgotten past. They were echoes of a civilization that had long been consigned to the realms of myth. The structures that emerged from the depths were unusual, their architecture unlike any known to the region. Circular formations, concentric rings interlaced with what seemed to be channels or waterways, emerged from the excavations. The design was eerily reminiscent of the descriptions of Atlantis as penned by Plato, the great capital of the lost civilization, with its series of concentric islands connected by wide water channels. Utilizing advanced technological methods, the team began to piece together the fragments of the past. Digital reconstruction revealed a complex of buildings, public spaces, and what could have been temples or palaces. The precision of the layout, the sophistication of the construction techniques, hinted at a society that was far ahead of its time. Professor Florent and his team speculated that these ruins could very well be part of a settlement that inspired the Atlantis legend. Perhaps, they posited, this was a thriving port city, its glory days coinciding with the timeline suggested by Plato. Could it be that this city suffered a similar fate to the fabled Atlantis, swallowed by the sea, leaving behind only whispers of its existence? The discovery at Donana sparked a wave of excitement and curiosity. Scholars and enthusiasts began to draw parallels between the ruins and the descriptions of Atlantis. The circular layout, the advanced engineering, and the location, close to the Pillars of Hercules, the Straits of Gibraltar, as mentioned by Plato, all seemed to align. The team delved deeper into the possibility that these ruins were once part of a civilization that had maritime prowess, trading connections, and architectural advancements akin to those attributed to Atlantis. They hypothesized that a catastrophic event, perhaps an earthquake or a tsunami, triggered by the volatile tectonics of the region, could have led to the city's demise, mirroring the tragic end of the legendary island. The Donana discovery opened a new chapter in the search for Atlantis. While definitive conclusions remained elusive, the findings provided a tangible link to the legend. raised questions about the origins of the Atlantis myth and the possibility that it was rooted in real events and places. In the hearts and minds of those who followed the story, the ruins in Donana were more than archaeological relics. They were a bridge to a past that had long lived only in tales and imagination. They stood as a testament to the enduring allure of the Atlantis legend, a reminder that sometimes, hidden in the layers of myth, are kernels of truth waiting to be unearthed. Thus, the tale of the Donana revelation adds yet another fascinating dimension to the enduring legend of Atlantis. A legend that continues to captivate, inspire, and tantalize the seekers of history's mysteries. Over 10 billion years ago, long before the dawn of man and the formation of the planets as we know them, the universe bore witness to the birth of a celestial enigma, Nibiru. In a remote and ancient sector of the Milky Way, amidst a cradle of stars and cosmic dust, Nibiru came into existence. Nibiru's genesis was not one of tranquility, but of celestial violence. It was born from the remnants of a cosmic clash, a collision between ancient stellar bodies whose remnants coalesced to form this rogue planet. In the chaotic nurseries of space, where gravitational forces pull and weave the fabric of the cosmos, Nibiru found its path, an elongated elliptical orbit that stretched across the vast expanse of space and time. This unique orbit, spanning 3,600 Earth years, set Nibiru on a solitary journey through the galaxy. Its path intersected with the outer reaches of our solar system, weaving a trajectory that bridged distant worlds and unknown spaces. As eons passed, Nibiru's orbit remained constant, a silent witness to the unfolding evolution of the universe. The surface of Nibiru was sculpted by its tumultuous beginnings. Its landscapes were a tapestry of stark beauty, towering mountains, deep canyons, and vast plains. The planet's atmosphere, thick with gases from its cosmic formation, shielded it from the harshness of space and nurtured a fragile yet resilient ecosystem. Unlike other planets bound to a single star, Nibiru's journey brought it close to various solar systems, exposing it to a spectrum of stellar energies. This exposure infused the planet with a unique blend of cosmic radiation, shaping its environmental dynamics in ways unknown to other celestial bodies. As Nibiru traversed the cosmos, it bore witness to the birth and death of stars, the formation of galaxies, and the dance of planets. Its existence was a testament to the enduring nature of the universe, a rogue wanderer charting a course through the vast, uncharted territories of space. Nibiru's mysterious origins and its solitary voyage through the galaxy have sparked the curiosity and imagination of many. It remained an enigma, a planet shrouded in mystery, its story woven into the very fabric of the cosmos, awaiting discovery and understanding. In the shadow of Nibiru's majestic and enigmatic presence, a new chapter in the cosmic saga began with the rise of an extraordinary species, the Anunnaki. Their origin, as enigmatic as the planet they inhabited, is a tapestry woven from the threads of ancient cosmic events and the mysterious alchemy of life. The Anunnaki were beings of striking appearance, combining features that were both familiar and otherworldly. Tall and imposing, their physical form radiated a sense of power and intelligence. Their skin bore a subtle luminescence, a trait acquired from the unique atmospheric and cosmic conditions of Nibiru. Their eyes, wide and penetrating, seemed to hold the mysteries of the stars within their gaze. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Anunnaki was their incredibly long lifespans, stretching up to tens of thousands of years. This extraordinary longevity was a result of their advanced understanding of genetics and life extension techniques, as well as the unique properties of Nibiru's environment. Their extended lifespan allowed them to witness and influence cosmic events over millennia, giving them a perspective on the universe that was unparalleled. The Anunnaki civilization was governed by a sophisticated system of monarchy, deeply rooted in their history and culture. Their society was structured around a series of dynasties, each ruled by a king or queen who was not just a political leader, but also considered a custodian of celestial knowledge and wisdom. The royal bloodline was believed to be of divine origin, tracing their ancestry back to the earliest days of Nibiru's history. This lineage was not only a matter of birth, but also of capability, as the rulers were expected to be patrons of the arts and sciences, guiding their civilization to new heights of achievement. The Anunnaki dynasty was supported by a council of elders and advisors, composed of the most learned and experienced members of their society. This council played a crucial role in decision-making, ensuring that the rulers' decrees were in harmony with the philosophical and ethical standards of their people. In their majestic cities, the palaces of the Anunnaki were marvels of architecture and technology, reflecting the grandeur of their civilization. These palaces were centers of governance and learning, hosting discussions and debates on various cosmic and existential matters. The Anunnaki's dynastic rule was not just about governance, but also about stewardship of their planet and the wider cosmos. They saw themselves as guardians of the balance of life, a philosophy that permeated their approach to leadership and exploration. The Anunnaki's technology was as advanced as their understanding of the universe. They had harnessed the energy of stars, tapped into the power of black holes and mastered the art of interstellar travel. Their spacecraft were marvels of engineering, capable of traversing the vast distances of space with ease. These vessels were equipped with technology that allowed them to manipulate gravity and time, making their journey through the cosmos both efficient and swift. In their pursuit of progress and knowledge, the Anunnaki had pushed the boundaries of science and technology. Nibiru, which had provided abundantly for its inhabitants, began to show signs of strain under the weight of relentless exploration and exploitation. The technological advancements, once a source of pride for the Anunnaki, became a double-edged sword. The relentless mining of Nibiru's core minerals and the exploitation of its natural resources had unforeseen consequences. Gradually, the planet's mass began to diminish. This loss of mass led to a weakening of Nibiru's gravitational pull, endangering the very atmosphere that shielded it from the harshness of space. As Nibiru's mass decreased, its atmosphere began to thin. The once thick protective layer that enshrouded the planet was now at risk of being lost to the void of space. This posed a dire threat to the Anunnaki, as the atmosphere was crucial not only for life, but for the stability of the planet's environment. Faced with this critical situation, the Anunnaki's Council of Elders convened an emergency summit. The best minds of Nibiru deliberated on potential solutions to save their dying planet. The conclusion was unanimous and groundbreaking. The Anunnaki needed to venture beyond their world to seek resources that could restore Nibiru's balance. The Anunnaki identified that heavy metals were key to augmenting Nibiru's diminishing mass and stabilizing its atmosphere. Among these, gold, with its incredible density and unique properties, was deemed the most effective. Gold's ability to resist corrosion and its unparalleled conductivity made it not just a luxurious commodity, but a necessity for Nibiru's survival. Approximately 450,000 years ago, a significant turn of events unfolded in the cosmic journey of the Anunnaki. As Nibiru entered the vicinity of the solar system in its elongated orbit, a discovery was made that would alter the course of their civilization forever: the discovery of Earth and its abundant resources. The Anunnaki, in their interstellar quest for gold, navigated the treacherous paths of space with their advanced technology. As Nibiru approached the solar system, their attention was drawn to a vibrant blue planet, third from the Sun Earth. This world, teeming with life and natural beauty, was a stark contrast to the waning vitality of Nibiru. Initial reconnaissance missions revealed that Earth was rich in the very element they were desperately seeking: gold. deposits of this precious metal were detected in various locations on the planet, especially in the land masses we now know as Africa and South America. This discovery was a beacon of hope for the Anunnaki, a potential solution to the environmental crisis facing Nibiru. After extensive deliberation, the Anunnaki leaders decided to establish a base on Earth for their mining operations. This endeavor was not only about extracting gold, but also about creating a sustainable outpost for their long-term presence on the planet. The chosen site for their first settlement was near the fertile lands surrounding the Persian Gulf, an area rich in natural resources and conducive to their operations. Here, the Anunnaki founded the city of Shush, later known to humans as Susa, which became the hub of their earthly activities. The crucial expedition for gold, essential for the survival of Nibiru, was under the leadership of Enki, a figure renowned for his immense wisdom and capability. As one of the children of Anu, the supreme leader of the Anunnaki, Enki was chosen for this pivotal mission due to his exceptional scientific acumen and profound understanding of the intricacies of life. Known for his innovative approach to problem solving, Enki's expertise in genetic manipulation and environmental adaptation made him the ideal candidate to spearhead this endeavor. In the chronicles of the Anunnaki's time on Earth, Enki's role stands out as one of unparalleled significance. Alongside Ninhursag, his sister and consort, he played a pivotal role in shaping the early epics of Earth, weaving a narrative rich in mystique and transformative power. Enki was a being of remarkable appearance, with the lower body of a serpent. This unique form symbolized his deep connection to the primal and life-giving forces of the universe. He carried with him a magical staff, an emblem of his mastery over the fundamental structures of life. This staff was not only a symbol of authority, but also a tool that endowed him with the ability to perceive and intricately manipulate the building blocks of life, granting him the extraordinary power to alter and create life forms. Accompanying Enki in this monumental task was Ninhursag, his sister and wife. Revered in Sumerian mythology as a goddess of fertility and the mother of gods, Ninhursag was a figure of divine grace and power. Mirroring Enki, she too bore a serpentine lower body, marking her as a being of celestial origin. Her hair, often styled in the shape of the Omega symbol, and her attire, which included a horned headdress and a tiered skirt accented with a butterfly knot, symbolized her status and role. Ninhursag also wielded a staff, intricately adorned with Omega patterns, signifying her pivotal role in the process of creation and nurturing life. Enki, in the later myths of the Sumerian civilization, was venerated as the father of earth, the god of water, and the deity of wisdom. His arrival on earth signaled the dawn of a new era. Enki's profound wisdom, coupled with his mastery over the elements, elevated him to a revered status, not only among the Anunnaki, but also in the eyes of the nascent human civilizations that began to emerge. Initially, the task of mining gold was assigned to the Igigi, a group of slaves under the Anunnaki. However, discontent soon brewed among the Igigi. Dissatisfied with their grueling work and harsh conditions, they began to rebel against the Anunnaki's orders, refusing to mine gold and causing considerable chaos. This uprising posed a critical challenge to the Anunnaki's mission on Earth. Faced with the Igigi's revolt and the pressing need for gold, Enki, the master of genetic engineering, decided to embark on a daring experiment. His plan was to create a new life form on Earth that could replace the Igigi in the gold mines. Combining the DNA of his own people with that of Earth's creatures, Enki sought to engineer a resilient and robust species capable of thriving in the subterranean environments of the gold mines. The first species chosen for this genetic amalgamation were dinosaurs, known for their strength and adaptability. Through intricate genetic manipulation, Enki successfully created a new species, the lizard people. These beings exhibited remarkable abilities for the mining tasks, but they lacked the capacity for self-reproduction. To meet the high demand for labor, Enki resorted to cloning the lizard people in large numbers. However, this process required the extensive use of Anunnaki female eggs and wombs, leading to discontent and ethical concerns among some members of the Anunnaki. Among the dissenters was Enki's brother, Enlil, the first heir to the Anunnaki throne. Enlil, a being with the head of a bull and the body of a man, known for his empathy and also revered as the god of wind, often clashed with Enki over these practices. In response to the growing tensions and the unsustainable nature of cloning, Enki decided to create another species, one capable of self-replication and enduring the hardships of mining. He experimented with his own DNA, combining it with various terrestrial creatures, resulting in the creation of several half-human, half-animal beings, such as sphinxes, bird-headed humans, dog-headed humans, Horus, Thoth, with an ibis head, and mermaids. However, these creations, too, lacked the ability to reproduce. Finally, in a collaborative effort involving Enki, Enlil, and Ninhursag, a breakthrough was achieved. Using clay, water, and spiritual essence, they created a new life form, humans. The first of their kind were two beings with distinct genders, named Adam and Lilith. Adam was male, while Lilith was hermaphroditic. They were designated as the Lemurians, marking a new chapter in the saga of Earth and the Anunnaki. The Lemurians, although gifted with the ability to reproduce, initially lacked self-awareness. They lived life mechanically, akin to animals, unaware of their own identities, and devoid of any concept of morality or desires. Created in the image of Enki and Enlil, they possessed a human-like appearance, which was devoid of any animalistic features like a bull's head or a serpent's body. To the Anunnaki, the Lemurians' appearance was perfect and beautiful. Enlil, deeply moved by the beauty and innocence of these human-like beings, especially Adam and Lilith, couldn't bear the thought of sending them to toil in the gold mines. He took them under his care in his lush garden, Eden, and nurtured them with great affection. This act of compassion led to a disagreement with Enki, who believed that the Lemurians were created solely for labor, not as companions or pets. After much deliberation among the Anunnaki, it was decided that Lilith would be given to Enki to fulfill the original purpose of aiding in gold mining, while Adam would remain with Enlil. Before departing for her task, Lilith was granted the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Consuming it, she gained wisdom, but also developed a sense of good and evil, desire, and the concept of comparison. Lilith, now enlightened and aware of her predicament, grew envious of Adam's idyllic life in Eden and resentful of her own laborious existence. Meanwhile, Adam, lonely without Lilith, requested her return. But Enlil, unable to reverse the decision, created Eve from Adam's rib to be his companion. Lilith's resentment towards Enlil intensified, leading her to confront him. In a moment of anger, Enlil transformed her into a serpent, a form resembling Enki's. The transformed Lilith, fueled by hatred, stealthily entered Eden and tempted Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge. Eve, in turn, shared the fruit with Adam, awakening in them both wisdom and desire. Upon consuming the fruit of the tree of knowledge, Adam and Eve experienced an awakening like no other. Their eyes were opened to the complexities of existence. They became aware of their individuality, their nakedness, and the vastness of the world beyond Eden. This newfound awareness brought with it a myriad of emotions: wonder, fear, curiosity, and a profound sense of vulnerability. Enlil, witnessing the transformation of Adam and Eve, felt a deep sense of betrayal and loss. The innocence and purity he had cherished in them were now replaced by the unmistakable glow of awareness and questioning in their eyes. In his view, they had crossed a forbidden threshold, and as such, could no longer reside in the sanctity of Eden. Adam and Eve were cast out into the world, a world vastly different from the nurtured paradise of Eden. They found themselves in a land that was rugged and untamed, a stark contrast to the gentle beauty and abundance they were accustomed to. the reality of survival, of toiling the earth for sustenance, and the harsh elements of nature became their new way of life. Despite the hardships, the knowledge they had gained became a beacon of hope and progress. They learned to harness the resources of the land, to cultivate crops, and to build shelters. This knowledge, though born from a transgression, became the foundation of human innovation and the driving force behind the advancement of civilizations. According to the fascinating accounts of James Churchward, an American writer, the lost continent of Mu, submerged beneath the Pacific Ocean, was a cradle of early human civilization. Churchward's explorations, as detailed in his works on the lost continent, painted a vivid picture of a land where human life flourished as early as 70,000 years ago, with a remarkable civilization emerging around 50,000 years ago. Churchward suggested that Mu was not just an ordinary landmass. It was the site where, according to his interpretations, the biblical Garden of Eden might have been located. Or perhaps Mu itself was Eden. In his view, this lost continent was where God created man. The concept that Mu could be the birthplace of humanity and the seat of our earliest civilization is both intriguing and monumental. Churchward's journey to this astounding revelation began somewhat fortuitously. In 1868, during his service with the British Army, he was dispatched to India to assist in famine relief efforts. His assignment at a local monastery involved aiding the monks in repairing the temple, particularly in assisting an elderly monk with carving temple frescoes. During his time at the monastery, Churchward was exposed to mysterious inscriptions, which he initially could not comprehend. Over time, as he built a rapport with the monks, he was informed that these inscriptions were in a language called Nakal, one of humanity's earliest forms of written communication. This language, considered a dead language by many, was a rare window into an ancient past. With sincere interest and dedication, Churchward spent 2 years learning Nakal under the guidance of the aged monk. In an extraordinary turn of events, his mentor's trust led to Churchward discovering what he claimed to be the oldest human writings on Earth, known as the Nakal tablets. These tablets, numbering over 100, were crafted from clay and not originals, but copies. Together, they formed what was referred to as the Book of the Holy Spirit. Based on James Churchward's extensive research, the history of the lost continent of Mu and the Nakal civilization unfolds as an epic saga of human development and catastrophe. Long before recorded history, a vast landmass known as Mu existed in the Pacific Ocean, According to Churchward's findings, around 50,000 years ago, this land witnessed the dawn of the first human civilization, termed the Knuckle civilization. Over thousands of years, this civilization experienced significant growth, expanding its influence to other continents, eventually evolving into an empire, the Empire of Mu. The Empire of Mu, centered on the continent of Mu, stretched approximately 5,000 kilometers from north to south and 8,000 kilometers from east to west. Churchward speculated that the continent was located in the Pacific Ocean, with its eastern side near the Hawaiian Islands, the western near the Mariana Islands, including the Mariana Trench area, and its southern side around Easter Island, covering nearly half the area of the Pacific. Mu was a singular nation composed of 7 major cities, housing a population of over 60 million people, encompassing 10 different ethnic groups with diverse skin colors, including white, black, brown, and olive. The empire was ruled by a sole monarch, King Ra, full name Ramu, believed to be an immortal son of the gods. Churchward linked the Egyptian sun god Ra to the Knuckle language, suggesting that Ra symbolized the sun. The Knuckle tablets described the cities of Mu as marvels of architecture, with palaces and temples constructed of massive stones. Each city boasted large ports near rivers, facilitating a bustling trade and transportation network that connected Mu to the world. Residential and commercial areas thrived along these rivers, vibrant both day and night. Due to the stable climate, food was abundant in Mu, sourced directly from nature, eliminating the need for agriculture. As the population grew, people from Mu ventured out to other continents, known as the Mayas. These pioneers brought their advanced civilization to South America, Asia, India, and Europe. The tablets narrated a sudden catastrophe approximately 12,000 years ago. A series of violent earth tremors, followed by massive volcanic eruptions and tsunamis from the south, led to the tragic sinking of the continent of Mu overnight. The remnants of the Knuckle, dispersed across the globe, created the Knuckle tablets as records of this disaster using their original language. Churchward theorized that the continuous seismic activities in the Pacific Ring of Fire are remnants of this sunken continent. Although Mu was lost to the depths, its people, the Mayas, spread across the world, laying the foundations of ancient civilizations such as India, Babylon, Persia, Egypt, and the Mayan civilization. The Knuckle language eventually vanished, giving way to the diverse languages and cultures we know today. The fragmented nature of the tablets left much to speculation and interpretation. According to Churchward, the small islands in the Pacific, including Easter Island, are remnants of the sunken continent. He also suggested that the biblical story of the Great Flood might have been a record of the cataclysm that befell Mu, an event remembered in flood myths worldwide. Before James Churchward brought the concept of the lost continent of Mu into the limelight, historical records reveal that he was not the first to mention such a land. This distinction belongs to a Frenchman named Charles-Étienne Brasseur de Bourbourg, who preceded Churchward by about 50 years. Charles-Étienne Brasseur de Bourbourg was a French archaeologist and a Catholic priest who dedicated his life to studying the folklore and history of the Central American region. His work, publications, and restoration of historical documents significantly contributed to the modern understanding of the ancient Maya and Aztec civilizations. Spending most of his life in Central America, Brasseur de Bourbourg became deeply immersed in the study of these ancient cultures. In 1862, during his research in the National Library of Madrid, Spain, Brasseur de Bourbourg stumbled upon a manuscript written in the 16th century by a missionary named Diego de Landa Calderón. De Landa Calderón was among the first missionaries to accompany the Spanish fleet to South America, and was infamously known for ordering the burning of all Maya literary works. His actions, motivated by a desire to eradicate non-Christian elements in South America, led to the destruction of Maya culture, leaving only 4 fragmentary codices in existence. This tragic event significantly impeded the modern understanding and interpretation of Maya script. Ironically, before his campaign against Maya literature, de Landa Calderón had extensively studied Maya literature and script. He became the first scholar of Maya civilization, only to destroy his subject of study, making him the sole possessor of extensive knowledge about it. On his journey back to Spain with the Spanish fleet, he penned the famous Relación de las Cosas de Yucatán, or Yucatan Chronicles, which was later discovered by Brasseur de Bourbourg. In these chronicles, de Landa Calderón categorized and annotated Maya scripts and phrases, providing partial translations. Brasseur de Bourbourg, while at the Madrid Library, found these chronicles and utilized the Spanish and Maya language comparisons to translate one of the remaining 4 codices, known as the Madrid Codex, the longest of the 4. Upon translating the codex, Brasseur de Bourbourg uncovered a narrative about an ancient empire named Mu, which, according to the manuscript, was ultimately submerged by a great flood. Initially, Brasseur de Bourbourg speculated that this story might refer to Atlantis, as the codex did not specify the location of Mu and its end by a great flood aligned with the legend of Atlantis, seen as a universal flood story among various cultures. Brasseur de Bourbourg's primary focus was the interpretation of Maya script, not the story of Mu. Therefore, when published his findings, the mention of Mu did not garner much attention. It remained a relatively obscure reference, overshadowed by his more significant work on Maya language and civilization. It wasn't until Churchward's later work that the concept of Mu gained widespread interest, though it originated from the earlier discoveries of Brasseur de Bourbourg. Besides Charles-Étienne Brasseur de Bourbourg, another significant figure delved into the mysteries of the Madrid Codex, Ignatius Donnelly, an American congressman with a profound interest in archaeology and a lifelong dedication to studying Atlantis. Ignatius Donnelly's fascination with ancient civilizations and his passion for archaeology defined much of his career and scholarly pursuits. His focus was primarily on the legendary lost continent of Atlantis, which he believed to be a pivotal piece in understanding the origins and connections of ancient civilizations. In 1882, Donnelly published a book titled Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, where he discussed his interpretation of the Madrid Codex. His translation and analysis led him to the conclusion that an ancient civilization named Mu had once existed. Like Brasseur de Bourbourg, Donnelly also equated this lost civilization with Atlantis, further entwining the two legends. Throughout the 18th century, several discoveries and interpretations pointed towards the existence of a lost land, which many scholars of the time attributed to evidence of Atlantis. However, these findings were often viewed through the lens of the Atlantis myth, overshadowing the possibility of a separate, distinct landmass like Mu. It was not until James Churchward proposed the hypothesis of Mu that a clear distinction between Atlantis and Mu began to emerge in the scholarly community. Churchward's work sparked a new interest and led to a re-evaluation of previous findings, including those of Donnelly and Brasseur de Bourbourg. His proposition that Mu and Atlantis were two separate lost continents opened up a new avenue for exploration and research in the field of ancient civilizations. "40 years after James Churchward proposed the hypothesis of the lost continent of Mu, the mystery deepened with the publication of a book in 1972 by Swiss author Erich von Däniken, titled Gold of the Gods. This book brought to light an intriguing discovery related to the ancient Andean civilization. In Gold of the Gods, von Däniken recounted his 1969 expedition to Ecuador, where locals told him about a cave filled with gold, known as the Tayos Cave. They even showed him artifacts allegedly taken from inside the cave. Intrigued by inscriptions and symbols on these items, von Däniken sought to explore the cave personally with the help of a local guide, Juan Mariche. Juan Mariche, who was not a professional guide but an explorer and treasure hunter, familiar with South America, claimed he had previously entered the cave. He described it as an extensive and spacious underground site, with the highest points reaching over 100 meters, resembling a grand hall. According to Moritz, the cave system was vast and intricate, resembling a network of passages leading to unknown destinations. However, he mentioned that the cave was no longer accessible due to flooding. Moritz described finding numerous gold artifacts and metal plates arranged like pages of a book, suggesting the cave was akin to a library. These plates, unlike any known Andean script, were undecipherable. The cave also contained murals depicting figures resembling the Anunnaki from Sumerian mythology and Egyptian-like drawings, with some figures as tall as 7 meters, hinting at a connection with giants. However, these murals were now submerged and inaccessible. Following von Daniken's book release, the story attracted journalists and researchers to the site. One of the key figures they consulted was Padre Crespi, an Italian priest who had been living in the area for years. He confirmed the existence of gold and inscribed metal plates known to the locals, but believed that the original artifacts from the cave had been looted and sold. The market was flooded with replicas, often sold to tourists, and the whereabouts of the genuine artifacts remained unknown. Padre Crespi himself possessed many such replicas, gifted to him by the locals, made of brass, not gold. These replicas raised the possibility that genuine gold tablets, referred to as the Andean gold tablets, had once existed. Their unique script, unlike any other South American language, remained a puzzle. The existence of the replicas suggested that the original tablets, if they existed, held some significant historical value yet to be deciphered. The arrival of Erich von Daniken's book, Gold of the Gods in Japan, sparked a remarkable revelation. Japanese researchers discovered that the inscriptions on the metal plates mentioned in the book bore a striking resemblance to their ancient script known as Jindaimoji. Jindaimoji, or God Age characters, is a script believed to be used by the gods during their descent to Japan, particularly in the region of Izumo. This script was reportedly first found inscribed on the walls of caves in Izumo. Japan, traditionally a nation without a written script of its own, had adopted Chinese characters for writing. However, these ancient Japanese symbols predate the introduction of Chinese script, suggesting a deeper, mystical origin. Jindaimoji has been found across Japan, primarily etched on stones in ancient temples, and preserved in old scrolls passed down through generations. These symbols are said to be remnants left by the gods. Temples also incorporated Jindaimoji into amulets, believing in their divine power to protect people. Furthermore, during the feudal Edo period, these characters were sometimes used as secret codes. A unique an ancient tradition in Okinawa, involved tattooing young girls with jindaimoji. This practice, believed to endow the tattoos with protective divine power and ensure longevity, involved inscribing these sacred symbols on their hands. However, this tradition was abolished over a century ago, and now only the oldest generation of Okinawan women bear these tattoos. The discovery of jindaimoji, an ancient Japanese script, in the Taos Cave of Ecuador, thousands of kilometers away from Japan, raised intriguing questions about the possible existence of a now submerged landmass that once connected these distant regions. The appearance of jindaimoji in an Ecuadorian cave puzzled historians and archaeologists. Considering the vast distance of about 15,000 kilometers across the Pacific Ocean between Japan and Ecuador, it seemed improbable for such a specific cultural element to travel so far without a significant land connection. This led to speculation that a landmass, potentially the lost continent of Mu, might have once bridged these two nations, explaining the shared script. Further deepening the mystery, 12 clay tablets inscribed with jindaimoji were discovered in Okinawa. Professor Masahiro Kimura of the University of the Ryukyus, upon interpreting these tablets, uncovered a story that suggested Okinawa was not always an island, but part of a larger landmass. The narrative spoke of a kingdom ruled by a son of the heavens, which was eventually submerged, transforming the once vast land into the present-day island of Okinawa. In Japan, another ancient document known as the Takuchi manuscript, also written in jindaimoji, was discovered and translated. This manuscript, too, mentioned the continent of Mu, aligning with Churchward's descriptions. It spoke of a diverse population on Mu, including a race with green skin, correlating with Churchward's reference to olive-skinned people. The manuscript further narrated that the survivors of Mu's submersion spread across the globe, contributing to the formation of various civilizations. These revelations brought a new dimension to the story of Mu and the ancient world. The presence of jindaimoji in distant lands suggested a once interconnected global civilization, far more advanced and widespread than previously thought. The legend of Mu, supported by these findings, hinted at a complex and diverse society that had a profound influence on the development of cultures around the Pacific Rim and beyond. The discovery of the clay tablets in Okinawa and the Takuchi manuscript provided compelling evidence that the myth of Mu might have been based on a real, now lost continent. This potential connection between ancient Japan and South America through Mu opened up new theories about prehistoric cultural exchanges and migrations, challenging the conventional understanding of ancient human history.